the thing, right? Number one, I've already hinted about the Montravius Adams part. I do feel like that hurt the linebackers' ability to get downhill at times. I also thought this, man, we had too many different personnel groupings out there and too many different people playing in those groups. And that created this lull in communication and, more importantly, in run fits. We used 3 different sets of nickels. We did 3 safety. We did regular nickel. I seen one nickel where it was Keanu Neal. We saw one where it was Minka Fitzpatrick. It was another one where Casey was down in the nickel. I saw Shannon Sullivan be in the nickel. Then you throw in, we had Landon Roberts, Cole Holcomb, and Quan Alexander all out there linebacker too. It was just like, man, the different players, the different characters they would have out there, it looked like it took them a couple of plays to all get on the same page at times in terms of communicating. And if you look on, you see these dudes trying to talk it out. Like, yo, what's that? Gotta go here, I just feel like it was a lot of moving pieces. Now, part of it is what we talked about. When you don't have a solidified slot, or you don't have, these are my solidified linebackers, you gotta rotate these dudes to get the personnel. And we say, oh, well, it's all right because we got this guy. It's okay, we got that guy. On paper, it is, but in games, this is some of the potential negativity with it. Deke, you might be aggressive fit in that run gap, a la Keanu Neal. I might be a little bit more finesse with it, a little bit DeMonte Casey. This person over here might be Minka. And how they see it, they might not fit it like a regular person, but they might be seeing something totally different. And they just making a play on it. Then you throw in these linebackers who are, all right, Landon Roberts, very much downhill. Cole Holcomb tries to read it. Quan, a little more athletic, he might backdoor it. It's just, to me, I felt like in this first game, 4 quarters of all them dudes working together, it looked like they weren't always on the same page, definitely in them run fits. And that's one of the things when you're facing a team like the Niners, with what they do well is what? Run the ball and play action pass. What are the 2 most important things as a defender versus running the ball and play action pass? Us all being on the same page. Because in run fits, as we saw, one person out their gap, that ball is spitting. In play action pass, if we not all on the same page pre-snap, I can't find this dude, Deke. If I'm here first looking at run, now I got to turn my back and run around. I don't know how you've seen what you've seen. I don't know where you're at. And those are some of the things that I thought kept popping up. But it was really when you talk about all these different groupings that we used, but we really don't have an alternative just yet either until a slot emerges that we feel confident playing and play out, or one of these linebackers show, or 2 of the linebackers show that they don't ever have to come off the field. We're kind of stuck doing some of this stuff, but I just felt like we used it a little bit too much out there, man.
Okay. Something to watch for.
That was how I felt about it, man. Because I thought specifically Keanu Neal, he was the one that caught me the most, because it was like, man, I love how aggressive he is. But it was just like his fits and the dudes trying to fit off of him, everybody just seemed out of whack at times, man. And when you're talking about at this level, game of inches, those are some of those same inches we talk about. Sure. Your helmet being on this side of that dude versus on that side is a totally different read for me and everybody else around. And that's some of the stuff that I just feel like they all got to get on the same page with, but it was week 1. So that's the other part when you talk about the optimism. You're like, all right, now we just got to make sure that we're even more intentional about it, because we've seen when we're not the cause and effect of that. Today's show is brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook. You know, the top-rated sports booking app. It's football season. Plenty of people out here trying to have a little fun. This is the app that you go to. This is the app that you use. This is the app that we use. And why do we use it? Because it is safe. It is secure. But more importantly, Deke, it's reliable. Just like your barber. Your barber delivered a fire cut for you. That's reliability right there. All right?
Yeah.
And that's what DraftKings Sportsbook is. They are reliable. And y'all know if we're going to talk about them, we're going to talk about them for a reason. And that's because we have a promo code. So when you first, decide to hop into this game called sports gambling, sports betting, sports booking, all that good stuff, you're going to have that first time when you're putting that wager in. So when you're on DraftKings and it's your first time making a bet, all right, you're going to have to put a little deposit down. If you put the minimum, which is $5, and you put the promo code MOATS along with said minimum, you will instantly receive $200 in free bets. It's a beautiful concept. It's like, you scratch my back, I'm going to really scratch your back. You can't go wrong with it, baby. So I love that part about them. But at the same time, Deke, it's not always butterflies and rainbows. Sometimes people struggle. Sometimes people can't handle all the fun that's associated with sports betting. And sometimes you or someone you know might have a gambling problem. They might need some crisis counseling or even referral services. Those people that live in New York, it's a number on the screen right now for you to text. And under that number for everybody else, it's a number you could call. And that number is 1-800-GAMBLER. I said 1-800-GAMBLER.